Man.
Estoy llorando de la emoción.
So, we did it.
Me diste miedo, homie.
¿Por qué?
Si lo sabes manejar.
Y yo creo. Pues ya veremos. Valiéndome.
Hijo de su. No son de mega paciencia estos frenos.
Estoy sudando a la mer. It's so hot in here. So this is it, 1994 VW. I'm learning to drive as we speak. Seat adjustment might need to be fixed. The brakes are brakes of patience. The gears are like so spread out, it's ridiculous. 4-speed. Woo-ha! The guy said 120 kilometers an hour. We'll do just fine at that speed. I'm not really sure. It has a stereo that's not plugged in, which I'm pretty sure we can fix. A missing speaker on the left side and an old speaker on the right side. The steering wheel is crooked. Needs to be aligned. Alright, I think it's pretty cool. Es que me da miedo no que meterla en la reversa. I'm gonna hold you back. I can make you feel alive. I know that I need. Do I need you to survive? Old school windows. We're in the ghetto, so we kind of have to put the windows up. Don't want to be recognized around these places. Así venía, huh?
Dale.
¡Ah! ¡Vamos! See me rolling, they hating. Ahora. ¡Ah! ¡Ah! I wanna see you, Tokyo! Drift mode, baby! Power!
A few moments later.
Alright, oh, a little smudge there. Clean that out. Alright, if you follow me on Instagram, you already know what I got. So keep in mind that I was working a very tiny budget, a very short period of time, and this vehicle is actually pretty clean for its age. The 1994, and if you follow me on Instagram, you saw that it was a 1994 bus or a 1994 VW Bug, and well, I'm about to show you which one it is. So she's something. 1994 VW Bug, and you probably never seen one of these in the US, if not very few of them in the US. That's because they didn't make them for the US market. They stopped making them in the US like in the late 70s or something like that. So there's a lot of things on this particular model that have not changed from the 70s, and there's a lot that has changed from the 70s. To start out, right in the back where the engine goes, because it's a Beetle, or Volcho as we call it in Mexico. This puppy right here is fuel injected, not carbureted. I think 94, 93 was one of the first years, or was it 92? 92 through 94, one of those 3 years, this is when they started doing fuel injection, and it is freaking awesome. See these tubes that I just added on here, these actually do go there. I just didn't, like, you know, it's not something like I bought at Home Depot. These are actually made for this. So there's this little lever inside the vehicle, which I'll go show you here in a second. It turns the heat on. Yes, it comes with heat. Does not come with AC, so interesting, right? The cool thing about this Bug is, look how, you can just push it. The body is like so straight, it's awesome. One of the things that I don't like about this bug, it's missing a speaker right there. There is a speaker that was there when I got it. I think it's this one right here. This, and I think after I drove it a couple miles, went to the store to buy all the parts that I needed to kind of replace some of the stuff that was on this car. That just whoop, onto my toes, which not a pleasant experience at all. But it's missing that speaker. I guess I have a speaker. The speaker on the other door is a Sony Explode. It looks nice just sitting there. It's not plugged into anything. There's a stereo in there that's not plugged into anything, and there's an alarm system that's not plugged into anything. By the way, back in the day, that was your alarm system. VERO key right in there, twist it, bloop, alarm is on. A little flaws with the bug. The bumper is a little dented. Paint is not immaculate. This used to be gray in color. That I did not know that until after I bought it and I saw the title and it said some weird gray color, which, by the way, like the way that they do titles here, I would have to show you later on. It is wild. It's not like in Texas, for example, which is what I'm used to. I've seen a lot of Texas titles. I've gone through a lot of Texas titles, and you know, on the back you write, you know, there's a dotted line, you write, or not dotted, there's just a line where you sign it over, no big deal. And then you get a new title from the state. Not the case here. I have the original title from the first time this vehicle got purchased, and on the back, anytime someone sells a vehicle, there's a little phrase that I had to read it because it's the first time I actually had to write it out. And you write basically saying, I give the rights to the vehicle to, and then the name of whomever is going to purchase it. And there's like a bajillion signatures. So this vehicle has been through a lot of hands. So something you have to understand, bugs in Mexico, they were made forever, and they drove the living snot out of them. Now this one has 89,000 kilometers, I think. So the wheels are actually original. I'm pretty sure they got painted at some point. The spare tire is not the size that it should be, but the wheel is. The wheel is still the original wheel. So I'm gonna go ahead and open that trunk, the boot. So glove box compartment, and that's the lever. Pull it, give it a pop. Ah, come on. Oh, there you go. I was doing it wrong. A little button there. Ta-da! That, my friend, is the wrong size tire, and that's supposed to be in there. That is too big. And I put them side by side with those tires, and needless to say, not the right size. One of the things I'm also missing here is a little cap that goes there for the windshield wipers. Right. All metal, which is pretty cool. I love metal stuff. Driving this thing first time is awesome. Actually, it's the first time I ever driven a bug. The whole life I went to Mexico driving one. I've been in many, I've been in buses, never in a bug, and it was a really fun experience. There is parts galore here, and I'm pretty sure you probably already saw this. I don't know how I'm gonna edit this, but you'll probably already seen the place where I went and purchased all these parts. I mean, they had almost every single part for this vehicle, almost, not all of it. And there's some parts that didn't quite fit, but all right, so we're gonna go ahead and start taking stuff out and putting new things in. Valve stem covers. This is the interior light. You can't buy this just like the little bulb. You have to buy like the whole assembly for some reason. Don't know why, but the other one is kind of yellowish, so I gotta take that out. Let's see what else, what other goodies. My cousin Daniel here is putting the the passenger like handle so the passenger can hold on if they want to. Then the car with me, you probably need that. Scare the living snot out of people. Let's see, what else do we got here? A boot. A boot. A whole bunch of lights. Gonna replace these ugly lock bolts, whatever they're called. I'm gonna put these on there, stock ones. A whole bunch of bulbs, the caps for the windshield wiper nuts, and of course gotta have an original VW 1600 cc. I'm really sure how I'm gonna bolt that. I don't think there's holes on the trunk, but we'll figure it out. This is like metal, like real metal. It's not plastic, which is pretty cool. And I guess time lapse in the meantime. Métete a la zona, AutoZone.
Get in the zone. AutoZone.
So we just stopped at AutoZone, and yes, I did wear this, whatever this necklace hula thing is. And we got a, I forget what it's called. Whatever tools you need to change your tire. I can't think. It's late in the day. I'm tired. And, oh, I got fuses. Check these things out. These are the fuses that go. Huh. That does not look like an average fuse to me, but that's what we got, so yeah. What's next? I don't know either. Good morning, everybody. This is the last day of the trip, and I need to do one more thing, actually two more things. I need to give this car a bath, bottom, top, maybe even, take some of the dirt out of the inside. But the reason why is because when you're importing a vehicle, they are pretty strict about not bringing foreign soil or seeds or whatever, anything organic into the US. So trying to leave here around 7:30, 8 a.m. So, oh, where's my light? There you go. So you need to jack this thing up on one side, which is pretty interesting. It's not like your typical car where you jack up the one corner at a time. You do one side and it lifts the whole one side up, and same on the other side. So it makes it a little easier for both changing tires and whatever, cleaning the undercarriage and all that. So well, let's get to it. I don't know how much battery I have left on this thing, and I left all my other batteries in the house, so I don't know how much of a time lapse you're gonna get, but here we go. I don't know how much of that footage of me jacking this thing up on one side and power washing it you got to see, because I haven't looked at the footage. But needless to say, I've done all of that, and now we're on the way. We are leaving my hometown of Saltillo. Everything on the bug has been working fine. Nothing rattles, which is amazing for a car that's 26 years old. Oh yeah, the license plate light is out. Didn't quite catch that one till late yesterday, but there's nothing I can do about it now. So all I can hope is that I can find that particular light bulb in the US, which, I mean, I feel like it's going to be a long shot unless it's something that's very common. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting trip. I'm not really sure what the top speed of this thing is either, but I imagine it's not much. Right now, I'm about to hit 100 kilometers an hour, and that's about, what, 60 miles an hour, and it's smooth. I'm actually quite impressed. I thought I was going to have to ride this thing 50 miles an hour all the way back. So I'm not going to be alone on this trip back, thankfully. My cousin and his girlfriend will be following right behind. I'm going to meet them at some point outside of the city. Road noise is not too terrible in here, but there is road noise. Again, I haven't driven it past 100 kilometers an hour. The faster you go, the louder it gets. Granted, it does not feel like I'm entering the Earth's atmosphere in a pile of junk. Not like super rattly, just falling apart, which is pretty nice. I just hit 120 kilometers an hour. What a baller. Dude, this thing is pretty smooth on highway. Like, I'm actually very, very, very impressed. I mean, smooth at whatever it is, 65, 70 miles an hour. Now, huge disadvantage, and I didn't realize how spoiled I am. Stepping on the pedal on this thing and just keeping it steady is, I'm thinking it's gonna be not so much fun for 12, 13 hours, whatever, how long this trip is gonna be. No cruise control, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if you can hear the noise. It's not very quiet in here. I might have to put some headphones here at some point, because I'm pretty sure it's gonna get like pretty annoying here in a little bit. It's not terrible, but that constant I can already see it. Alright, so first toll. Now usually I would pay cash, but my cousin was kind enough to give me one of these. Multi-pass.
Multi-pass.
Ah. Well, that was pretty sweet. Need to get me one of these.
Multi-pass.
My goodness. Well, first repair already. 2 hours in. Tried to put that passenger window up. So here's what happened. One, there's this where the oil goes in, take the cap off, and there's this like little reservoir looking thing, which is not a reservoir, it's just, it connects that to the engine for the overflow. That little extra piece of metal has the screw that goes through it, and it just screws into, this fitting screws into the tube that goes, that's part of the case of the engine. So with that said, that came undone, and it was a little loose this morning, and I was an idiot for not double checking and questioning why it was loose. I was like, it's old, it's probably been like that forever. That's the first thing that happened. I had to wait for this thing to pull off because I could not touch that thing. And I literally fixed that the American way with a Leatherman tool, and it took a hot second, but we got it done. And then one of the hoses that pushes fuel into the heads, well, that's rotten to pieces. So thank you so much to the guys at the gas station when we stopped by. They literally took the water hose, not like your regular water hose, like the ones that you go to gas station that have that water hose hanging for water, and then they have the hose for air. They literally, quite literally, took the hose, took the fitting apart, and cut a chunk of that hose and gave it to me. I'm so grateful to those guys. So I go take this hose and go try to take this old hose out, and I cannot take it off. For the life of me, could not take it off. And then I realized that while I was moving it around, I pushed it further into the fitting, and then it stopped leaking. Here we are on the road again. So just in case you didn't know, and now you will know, Volkswagen Bugs don't have power steering. Not even this 94. In slow situations like this, like at a border crossing, for example, in this bridge, there's a lot of traffic right now. And good thing I'm going a straight line, because if I had to cut into other lanes, man, it's a workout. Waiting. Waiting. It's a waiting game. It's a waiting game.
Una hora después.
Smile for all the cameras. Hello, how you doing? Yes, ma'am.
Where are you going from today?
Saltillo, Coahuila.
Okay, the purpose of your trip?
Buy this thing.
Where?
To buy this vehicle. Yeah, 1994.
You're going back to what city again?
Dallas.
No.
That'll be a long trip. Thank you. All right, so we're across the border, had some lunch at Logan. Right now, we just crossed the checkpoint past the border, and never been south of the border or south of that checkpoint, which is several miles north of Laredo. I guess I look suspicious enough for the border patrol to take his sunglasses off and ask if I was alone, as if I could really conceal anyone in this thing. Anyways, we're gonna keep chugging along, and hopefully everything goes smoothly. So far, the only hiccup has been, the leaking fuel line and the loose oil reservoir looking thing. I don't know what it's called, so keep going. Keep going. Oh, like butter. Lights on. It's getting dark, my friends. We're only in San Antonio. Got 4 hours and some change. According to Waze, we will be there at 10 p.m. like 2 hours after I really wanted to be there. The Bug is running strong, my friends. Real strong. And it's not burning oil, it's not losing fluids. All the hoses are still on there. So whatever quick fix I did, fixed it. Man, I'm not gonna lie, it was like perfect weather today to take this home. Anyways, we're gonna keep on chugging along, and hopefully still make it to Dallas with no issues. Oh my gosh. Está nueva, ¿no? So, I think the alternator just went out on this thing. Or the band is slipping, which, if that's it, I have another one. The alternator, not so much. And, I don't know that I can just go to AutoZone and buy that. So, we're so close. Like, we're like 30 minutes away from Temple. And Dallas is 2-ish hours from here. So I guess we'll find out what happens next. But I'm sorry that you can't see me. I would use the interior light. But if I do, I'm going to suck up the battery. And I don't want to do that. So what's happening is, I think either my alternator is done for or my battery's out, but most likely it's my alternator, and we have to make it to Temple, which is 35 miles away, as soon as possible. Oh jeez, this is kind of nerve-wracking. Alright, let's go.
One eternity later.
Well, I'm in the back of my cousin's girlfriend's car because it needs a new alternator, so I don't have to come back next week after I ordered that part on Amazon if I can find it, or maybe somewhere else, I don't know. I doubt AutoZone has an alternator for a 1994 VW Bug that was never made for the US market, so, well, we made it 2 hours out. That's how far away we were from home, but, oh well, we'll get to it next week, so, yeah, good night.